Sora is changing the game in a lot of ways because I've seen some videos already that look crazy.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about Sora or just AI video generation in general, and you see it pop up like people share the videos on Twitter
Your
or
timeline's probably
excuse me,
looking real
X,
crazy right now.
Instagram, they'd be like, yo, what's going on out
What's going on out there?
What's going
Yeah,
on out
what's
here?
going on out here? Yeah, man. So let's just jump real quick. The Sora 2 updates. We've all seen the platform. They made some enhancements. So Deuce, I don't know if you've already played with it, but they've extended it. So now the free users can create videos up to 15 seconds. The pro users, which is what, 199 a month. If you're a pro user, it's like you can create up to 25 seconds. And the 25 seconds from what I've seen and played around with myself, yeah, it's all right. Like it doesn't really hold the context the whole time. And sometimes it just
Yeah,
starts getting a little bit weird towards that latter part of it. But when you have to go into their storyboard mode to use the 25 seconds through the app, it's 10 seconds and 15 seconds. But yeah, you can basically extend up to 15 seconds now as free users, and also just enhance realism, better physics. So like to your point, Deuce, like it looks real to a lot of people. So if you show it to some people that aren't really hip to like what's going on with Sora, like they may, really question, like, man, what is that? Like, I know you've seen it. I mean, there's like dogs driving, there's like, cats
man.
doing like
I've
all kind
seen
of just
seen a
everything,
lot of hyper
everything.
realism, things that, kind of looks crazy. Seen some ones, if we go back to the good, the bad, and the ugly of AI, Sora has
Yeah.
it all, right? They have everything. I've seen everything from a crocodile coming up to someone's door when they were coming out to great videos of, MLK redoing his great I Have a Dream
Yeah.
speech. But then I've seen some remixes of that. It's just so funny to see. But I will say this is really interesting to see people's imagination take off and how the adaptation from their prompts really take
Yeah.
effect in Soar. And, DJ, we've had a lot of fun making some videos, hyper realism or just putting ourselves in different scenarios and seeing us in, I guess you could say, different lights or different worlds, so to speak, or different universes, right? So this is kind of, really interesting to
I
see
mean, it's
how
cool. Dude, I thought it was gonna
at
I
the end
mean,
of the day, it
weird
is
because
kind of
like
cool.
you can put yourself in whatever, scenario. Like you can be a scientist in this and like, and usually like you see these creators and it takes some time to go get it set up and it takes you 2 seconds to kind of just not 2 seconds, but you got to think of it and kind of you can see some people that are really good with prompting and they come up with some super creative things and then like you can put your spin on it. I love the remix feature is really cool. Pendulum, the other side of now is just like you can use the same prompt that you had before, and it could be nothing that would break any violation. But yeah, it's just like, oh, this might violate our thing. So you'll see that a lot on Sora. Also, when y'all get into the platform, people will make content saying, please stop saying that we violated the rules
You
or whatever the
violate
case
the
is. Yeah.
policies, right?
The policy, yeah, because I mean, like trying to level that thing out because for a while it was crazy, like it was really crazy, but it was fun.
Walmart CEO has announced a hiring freeze, or not necessarily indefinitely, but this freeze can definitely reshape the future with roles for artificial intelligence. And it's very, very interesting because if you think about Walmart and their business model and how they work and what they're working on as far as innovation, it's actually going to probably shape the future for a lot of companies with hiring
Yeah,
freezes right now. Of
yeah,
course, AI is really scaling up in a lot of different industries. So you put that all together for the perfect storm of these hiring freezes and artificial intelligence really taking over. So it's going to be interesting to see how Walmart really shakes up that landscape with their hiring freezes.
yeah. I mean, apparently, what 3 years? I mean, that does definitely impact day to day. We have a whole shutdown that's going on right now, and it's just a lot of good talent that's out there, on the market. And right now, it's making it hard for people who are seeking new roles because,
I think that the key thing about
yeah,
this is the focus really is more so on the automation and the AI side, which is pretty cool because they're trying to focus on some innovation and how to streamline some of their processes, customer service, and
yeah,
a lot of different things, which makes sense. But obviously, a lot of jobs and job security is at stake when you do that, right? Because, yeah, you can get rid of a few roles. And I know we talked about this a little while ago, the different roles that could be in jeopardy based on
yeah.
how the wave of automation is going and AI is kind of taking place in some of those areas. Timbaland,
So,
Big
yeah,
Tim, Timmy Tim. So of course, Timberland, we've talked about it a little while ago, DJ. He signed his first AI artist.
yep,
I think her name is Tata Takumi,
yeah,
spelling or
Tata, yeah,
pronunciation, right? So she released her first music video, full music video of her first song. And of course, it's literally on the edge of innovation and also being like what's going on in the music industry right now, right?
Deuce, man.
Because
Well, how do you think music artists, when they first saw it, how do you think a music artist felt? And then producers, I would love. So, any producers that are in the comments, leave your comments. Here's who I want to interview. Producers, do you feel like it's easy to work with AI? Like, because you hear, Deuce, at least we hear from one side of the fence, sometimes it's just like, oh, yeah, artists might be hard to work with, or all these things. And but then from the artist standpoint, does it take away from like what they feel from their side? Like, it's just so interesting to me the paradigm. I'm with it
so
from the tech perspective because it's cool and it's new and unique. I didn't really love like the song that much. I'm sure Timbaland.
so
That's one of my favorite.
my perspective and how I look at it is the business side. Like, okay, the back end piece, like who is in charge of getting the royalties for this song? Like, I know this artist obviously is an AI artist, it's not real,
It's probably
but are
all the
we
producer, right?
so yeah, is it all the producer or is it who is in charge of running the AI or prompting the AI, so to speak?
Mm.
It's a agentic artist.
ChatGPT Atlas. So not last but not least, but so of course, OpenAI. They've been just on a tear lately, with
OpenAI
Sora.
again?
OpenAI again. This was the sandwich, right? So we started with OpenAI. We're going to end with OpenAI. But yeah, so just talking about Atlas, I'm sure you guys have heard by now, but earlier this week they announced ChatGPT Atlas, and essentially that is their own web browser. And just the capabilities, all the things, it looks very familiar to Chrome. So like it has that look and feel with Chrome, probably based off the Chromium platform. But yeah, what it enables you to do is essentially you can chat. This is more native chat as you're searching. It keeps the context of what you're looking for. And what I really like, Deuce, was their agent mode. Like I said before, just you're able to, when you're logged in and authenticated, then you're going to be able to do your shopping for you on Amazon, Walmart, wherever you're signed into. Unlike the agent mode now, you have to take over, put in your credentials, and it's a little bit kludgy. It still works because you can take over and jump into the experience. But now, just if you use their native browser itself, it can really crawl and do a lot of things for you on the web. What's your take on it? What do you like about it?
So I'll say this. Let me go ahead and just kind of open up with what Atlas is going to do in B. So of course, it's first going to roll out on Mac OS. So
Yeah.
if you have a MacBook, that's where it's going to first roll out on. And then they're going to have support for Windows and iOS and Android soon to follow. Now, with that said, very, very interesting. Obviously, a smaller community is going to be using that. I would say the
Yep.
majority of, I don't know the numbers on this, but I would say the majority of folks probably use anywhere between Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and or Safari or Firefox or another, right? That's probably the top 3 or 4 browsers. So it'd be really interesting to see how this browser can come and shape the market.